adventure.
No, we just finished.
We just finished
Yes.
another adventure.
Yeah.
Where were we adventuring?
Brian's nice garage.
Brian's nice garage.
Look at the garage. Garages. No. It's just a garage. There's just three. Yeah. One garage. One garage unit.
Brian had a 69 Barracuda with like all new disc brakes on the front, 10-inch drums on the rear. So we're putting all that stuff on our 62 Valiant, which came stock with 13-inch rims and tires and 9-inch drum brakes all around.
Yep.
So he went through the rear end on his car and he did disc brakes, and someone before him had rebuilt the front suspension and all that. So, and it's a swap. It's a direct swap. The rear end from a 69 or 67 to 69 Barracuda will fit a 62 Valiant. The only difference is the front spring hole is bigger on the later cars than the earlier cars, but he gave me the spring mounts for the front, so maybe those will just bolt in.
So thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian. Now we're gonna take it home and put it
In my car.
in your 62 Valiant. So then it'll stop. And we just need it to go.
Yeah.
Alright, to the garage.
To the garage. The
The unheated garage.
unheated, cracked floor, cold, musty, dusty.
Dirty. Dark, dank. Garage.
Cold garage.
Cold. Did we mention it was cold?
No, we should say it again.
Okay, it's cold. Floor's
It's really cold and yeah. Okay.
Why would you do that to me? You son of a...
So, we're at the garage.
And whose car is that in the garage?
Oh, that's mine. It's a 62 Valiant.
62 Valiant.
It's a toad.
Toad, they call it Toad because it looks like a
toad.
toad. What did we get for the Toad? Let's go through our booty. Drive shaft. New U-joints. I don't know if it's the same length as the 62 Valiant, but the Valiant has the ball and trunnion joint in the front instead of the U-joint. So,
Wait, what did you say? The ball and shoin?
ball and trunnion.
Oh. I thought you said sour cream and onion.
That's a sour cream and onion joint.
Yeah.
So that's just like what it says. It has 2 pins,
2 sours, 2 creams.
and
And
then
an
there's
onion.
a rubber boot over it. And when the boot goes bad, you got bad.
You have to get new shoes. Because you said when the boot goes bad. You have to get new boots. New shoes?
New shoes.
New boots? No? Didn't land.
Didn't land. Nice job.
Thank you.
I forget where these brakes are from. Is it Scarebird, I think? They went out of business recently. They say because they couldn't get supplies, like from suppliers. But he says they went out of business because they're terrible.
Oh, that's a good reason.
So apparently, the $600 Scarebird kit, you get this bracket for
that one right there.
For the caliper. The caliper is actually off of a, I don't know, like a late model Celebrity or something. The rotor's from like a Toyota or something. And they don't send you this stuff though. You gotta buy it extra. And then he bought like these lines, braided lines. So it looks like somebody before him replaced the shocks, the ball joints, and these bushings. They're newer. You can see where they were pressed in. They haven't even rotted yet. The scrape marks there. It's got the new lower control arm bushing. Like I said, new shocks. These bushings look new. These washers even look new. So that was well worth it. He put new brakes on this. He did wheel cylinders. I think he said the pads were fine. He did axle seals and bearings. And then the only difference, the front spring hole is bigger on the 67 and 9 Barracuda. So what you would have to do on the Valiant is drill out the bracket, the hole for the bigger bolt. But if this bracket fits that Valiant, then I can just swap it. Just unbolt it and bolt this in. Differential's the same width. Springs are the same length as the 62 Valiant. Got the e-brake cables. And I'll have to buy a new. This I'll probably get new. So he gave me the master cylinder off his Barracuda, which I think had power brakes. Obviously these are not power, but on my Barracuda I have manual brakes, and I use this master cylinder because it actually gives you a better pedal. And he gave me the old, well, the new one that he bought, but the old one before he did the disc brake swap. This is the old master, where it has the one pot. The pots are the same size, where this is different.
It's beautiful.
We're gonna try this on the Coronet because it's a single pot. You don't want a single pot because if one circuit goes, you have the other. So if the front or rear brakes go, you have the other one.
Yeah.
But on the single pot, if the front or rear brakes go, you have no brakes.
You're done.
You're done.
You're screwed.
You don't want to be screwed in that gigantic land bar, which we were going to take for a ride. Should we take it for a ride?
Yep. Can I drive? I've got my D license now.
You got your D license?
Is that what it is?
You got D license?
I got D license.
Are you French or foreign or something?
Are you?
No.
You started it.
All right, so let's get to work. Can you jack this up and take the rear axle out? And I'll pull the parts out of it. Well, you'll do that then? You got it? It's your car, right?
Yes.
You gotta get your hands dirty.
You've got too many cars and not enough garage space. I mean, look at all that. Oh my god, oh my god.
Leave this in here so it's nice and cold. It's gonna be nice to have disc brakes on this.
Beep, beep.
It took 3 of us to get this in here, so I'm gonna leave it here for now.
That's a good idea.
It should still be here in the spring, right?
Oh my god, I was trying to lift dog bags, dog food bags yesterday. I was struggling.
How many dog food bags do you
They were
think
like,
that is?
Too many for my weak arms.
Plan is take out the rear suspension, the rear axle, swap it with the new one, and move on to the front suspension. So the wagon puked power steering fluid all over the place. So I don't want to lie in that. So I'll have to clean that up first. If you're like me, stupid and poor, your garage floor becomes cardboard. Good as new. Look how much those springs have separated just from jacking it up. They are worn out and pretty saggy. That is pretty horrible. That's some Bondo, but not, could be worse. Not too bad. So this front spring mount, it's at an angle, unlike the Barracuda, and it has a center bolt. Imagine one down on the bottom too. Well, the other one has 4. So you have to take this mount and drill the hole larger. That should be easy enough. I think the e-brake cables are probably different. I think the Barracuda, they both go to one side. This appears to go to separate sides. But it should be fairly easy to get out. These are a little mucked up with dirt, grease, but they're coming off. This one's more on the rust side. Come here. Oh, come back. It's out. E-brake cable is holding it up, but I'm okay with that for now. A little BFH. don't think I'm against reusing these. Unless they're absolutely horrible. Oh yeah, they're horrible. Okay. Yeah, I'll be buying new ones. Set that there. See how long that takes to unwind itself. So the e-brake doesn't work, but it's all hooked up. All the cables are there. They just don't move. So I think what I'll do is disconnect it from here and then worry about it later. Out. So my strategy here was to get the bolts loose first and then spray them with penetrating fluid so the socket wouldn't slip on these rusty bolt heads. So I got the front, which you can't see really, got the front ones out loose, and then I sprayed them. This must be the one wheel peel side because those two bolts are pretty rusted and rounded. So I took the spring hanger off and we'll try it that way. When in doubt, bash a 13mm socket on it with an impact. Problem solved. Hey, the temperature just plummeted, so let's see if I can get this thing out of here before I freeze. Victory. I have to get rid of some vines. Car looks good. Mounting points are there. Solid. Okay. It is cold. So tomorrow we take this out of here. Took 3 people to get it in, and it's 1 person to take it out. But this thing is so original and clean looking, and the springs are, I mean, it's just, you couldn't find a better one, that's for sure. Alrighty, until tomorrow. So it's the next day, and it's not really that warm out. It's better than it was last night, but without the sun, it's cold. So today's plan, let's get this rear end out of the garage. The only way I see I can do that is move this thing. And I also have to get it out of my truck. So I have a sort of idea of how I'm going to do that, but I'm not 100% sure. So let's see if I can hurt myself. Sigma's back, baby. Give me some Sigma white letters. Tempest. We got a roller. It's going to its new home. So this thing should start right up. A lot of times with EFI, it likes voltage, so I should have put a charger on the battery, but I forgot. So with the tunnel ram, you got to give it a couple turns to prime the throttle bodies. They shoot a little bit of gas every time you turn the key and the pump primes. So we'll hook up the battery and see what happens. It's been sitting for a number of months. the difference. I need the breather thing off of this one. And that's about it. Buy a new hose. I also need these brackets, obviously, and the shackles. I'm gonna have to take that for a rip. So I took this thing for a ride 3 times and the GoPro died 3 times. So I think I got a small snippet of footage. Who knows? This thing, the rear shackles came off fairly easy, really easy. The front mounts, yeah, I gotta cut the bolts. They just never come off. I see a lot of people using those cutoff discs, those disposable ones. I've always used this diamond bladed thing. I mean, I've had it for years, and it just cuts like butter. I don't know why people use the other ones to cut stuff. But here we go. I've made the mistake before of cutting the head of the bolt off on this side of the bracket, but then you still have pieces of the bolt sticking out and you can't get the bracket off without bending it. So just gotta pop this off and onto the new rear end. Let's see how good a shape this Barracuda was that this stuff came off of. Here's the real test. That's ridiculous. Look at that bolt. So I had to drill out the old spring mounts. I think they were 7/16. I had to drill them out to 5/8. So that's what's ready to go now. And I'm going to reuse these upper bushings. These springs have newer bushings in them. But I popped out these and they're not horrible. The goal is to get this thing in the car this weekend, so it's a roller again. It's even got the Chrysler markings there. It's like DeSoto, Chrysler, Dodge, something. Onward. The shocks are still there in the same condition they were from last night. Shocking, isn't it? That's for you, kid. And of course, because I'm an idiot, I couldn't close the garage door, the hood down. It's just it sticking out that little much there. Was hitting the garage door. So thankfully, opening the hood, I was able to close the door. Without a rear axle, it's kind of hard to move around. Okay, this is it. Got the other side set. Put this side together. I'll put the bolt head on the inside because this will stick out once it's tightened and it'll hit the frame. nothing. I think I got this side. Gotcha. Gotcha twice. Gotcha 3 times. Tell me when that lines up. Gotcha. Crowning jewel, last but not least, good old Sigma. I may or may not replace the rear shackles, if you can even get those bushings or the whole shackles themselves. And I'll probably replace the bolts that hold the front spring hangers on. I wonder if it'll sit higher with no shocks. With these springs. I don't know if it's higher or not, but those springs are by far better. Now I can actually get it in the garage and close the hood. And with that, we are done. I'm gonna check on shackles, see if I can get those. Need a rear brake hose, rear shocks, hook up the drive shaft, or see if that other one will fit. Tires. Front suspension, that'll be next. Put some Marvel in the motor. See if I can get a rebuild kit for the 1-barrel carb, or get a 1-barrel carb. And then put the master cylinder in, bleed the brakes, check all the brake lines. Might have to replace some of them. And drive it, I think, would be the next thing. Clean it. A little warmer weather, and I can get this outside and scrub it down and see what it looks like. I noticed a lot of this Bondo, some amateur put on. It kind of goes like it's in the sheathing and it wraps around But there's actual metal here, and they just wrapped it around. I already plucked it off here. It was wrapped the same way, but there's no rust there. So I don't know what they were doing. I'm no body man, but that's not how you do that. You don't put it on top of the metal when there's metal. Alrighty. I'm psyched. This is for the kid, so thanks for watching.
Are we taking it for a spin?
The Coronet?
Yeah. You think that was all jokes? Or is it too buried?
No, it's not buried.
There it is.
There it is. Think about how it runs. You want to start it up and see what it sounds like?
Yeah. Okay, we gotta do this quick because I have to get ready
Okay.
for work.
Let's get this thing
It's the perfect shape for that.
It actually is, huh? We should get some more, right?
Make a little fence out
Make a
of
little
it.
fence.
Okay, get the keys. Get the
Oh my
keys.
God. You have to treat me like that.